What's up, fellas, and welcome to the first Q&A on YouTube. A few weeks ago, I asked you if you wanted to ask me questions because something I kind of realized with my own experience is that the artists that I listen to, I like to know like their personality, I like to know their personal life. It helps me relate a little bit more to their music and connect a little bit more to it. So I don't know, I've just noticed I've been kind of anonymous on this channel, so I think it'll be better to just give you a better sense of who I am. So let's get into it. How am I associated with the Sisyphus 55 channel? So the person that runs that channel happens to be my brother. Good guy. When the fellows is the name of your art piece. Yeah, but he started the channel in like 2015, I think, and then just as his life started progressing, he asked me if I could help him a bit with the animations, just because it does get a little tedious, and that just kind of evolved, and now I work with him every week on the channel, and I work on every video, and I do the animations and the video editing. I don't do all of the animations, but I kind of help with them, and I also supply the channel with music, so I also have done some of the merch designs and am kind of in charge of that, so sorry if you're looking for more merch. We've been a little bit lazy. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm associated with it. What's my favorite book or movie and why? Well, I might not do movies just because I don't really watch that many. I like movies, but I just don't have like 2 hours. I can't sit still for more than like an hour and a half. But yeah, TV shows, I really like Community, Parks and Rec, Arrested Development, Mindhunters, BoJack Horseman was really good, Archer. Yeah, and I just like them Mad Men. Mad Men's fire, sorry. Yeah, the reason I like them is just, I literally watched them when I was like little, and then I just find it really comforting to continue watching them, and I just find like most of my humor and kind of, it's a little bit weird, but like how I speak sometimes, I've noticed it's come from some of those shows, so it's very like ingrained in my head, so I just kind of keep going back to them. Books. Right now I'm reading How to Change Your Mind by Michael Pollan. That's a really good book. Yeah, I'm just gonna put up a list. You can't think of them all right now, but that's them. The reason I like them is I probably read them during high school or a little bit after, and kind of same with the TV shows. They just kind of helped a lot of where my ideas, opinions, and worldviews came from, and just a lot of my perspectives on things, so yeah, that's them. Do I like rom-coms? I mean, no. What's my favorite House Cat song? I don't know. I kind of enjoy making the songs more than I do listening to the final thing, so I don't remember a lot of the titles of the songs or like what they're about or what they are. It'd be hard to like actually give you like a good answer, but one that just comes to mind is Dark Notes. It's like an instrumental I put out towards the end of last year, and it kind of shocked me. I've never really done anything like that, and kind of showed me that I had learned a decent amount in the time that I've been making music, and gave me a lot of confidence. And a similar one is, like, once again, I can't remember the name of it, but it's off of the children's book. It's an instrumental. Yeah, I don't know, it just evokes, like, a certain emotion that I really like. And, yeah, I'm happy with those, but typically my favorite song is whatever one I'm working on at the moment. So, I'm working on a new album right now, and it's the best stuff I've ever done, so it's kind of hard because right now I love that, but I know as soon as I start working on the next thing I'll love that, so yeah, it's hard to answer. Do I work alone? Yes. Yeah, in the room that I'm sitting in right now, I've got my keyboards and my guitars, and recently got a trumpet, there's a drum kit over there, bongos, there's tons of percussion just kind of scattered around. The reason I'm filming it this way is the desk is an absolute mess. Yeah, I do all of this. It's been hard because I've had to learn certain things I didn't think I'd have to, but I'm learning more about like production at the moment, so that's really fun. Just because, I didn't know how kind of surgical you could get with it. But yeah, like learning the drums, was pretty hard because I noticed that's kind of the weak spot in a lot of my songs is the rhythm, trying to just clean it up and keep it tight. So I've been working really hard on that. Same with the bass, which I don't have. It's just a guitar pitched down with some muffling and effects on it to give it punch. But yeah, yes. Do you ever perform live, and if so, where? No, I don't perform live. Like I said in the last question, you know, I do all of this alone, so it'd be a little bit hard. I know you can do like loop pedals or have things played through the speakers, but you know, I'm a big fan of like jazz and just live music, so I'd want to do it all like that. But I also have this thing where I want to be completely responsible for it, so it'd be hard to kind of share my music with other people, but at the same time, I think that would be really fun, and I'd love to do that. Yeah, also just the place where I live, not a lot of opportunity for live performances, I guess. Is making music my full-time thing, or am I just doing it out of hobby? I would say it's my full-time thing. I mean, I've got like kind of a normal job that I'm doing right now, and I kind of just plan to keep doing that and keep doing those sorts of jobs just so that, because they're very like mundane and very just kind of normal, so while you're working them you can be thinking about music, and then when you get home, like when I get home from like a shift, I usually just start working on whatever I came up with. So I'd say it's like more full-time than my job, even though, you know, I don't make like any money from it, or I don't really think of it as like a business, but you know, it's all I think about. It's really all I do, so yeah, I'd say so. Right, yeah, so some of you asked like more than one question, which is totally fine because I don't have like a lot of comment or a lot of subscribers. So I appreciate it, and I'm gonna try and answer every question, so thank you. Which musicians have inspired you? How did you start making music, and what are some struggles you face as a musician? So the musicians that have inspired me has always been changing. I notice I kind of go through phases where, you know, when I first started, it was like kind of Joji and Mac DeMarco and some more like indie lo-fi stuff, because the quality of that matched the quality of what I was most capable of at the moment. So I was like, I can do this, you know, I don't have to learn all these production techniques, because you can just leave it bad and it's fine. Because people like, you know, the record scratches and everything in the background. So I started doing that, and then I started learning a little bit more about production. I started going like a bit more Mac DeMarco, and then I was looking into who he was influenced by, and then for whatever reason I got into like the Velvet Underground, and I got really into just like 60s, right after kind of jazz was the thing, getting into like rock. I was like, this seems interesting and checking out and mimicking, and so I started getting into that. And then not the Beach Boys, but Brian Wilson, the leader of the Beach Boys, I thought his whole vision was really cool. And then finally I got around to checking out the Beatles at age 18 or 17, and that just opened a whole new door for me. So it's been really fun kind of riding that wave. How did I start making music? Like I said, I just kind of, even before I like knew I wanted to make music, I knew that I had like a connection to it, where I just thought it was different than anything else. So I just, it felt kind of natural for me that I just started writing lyrics and eventually started putting them to songs, and it just felt like a really good release for everything, and yeah, it just felt very right. Like, I can't really imagine myself doing much else. What are some struggles you face as a musician? I think it's just like anyone in a creative pursuit. It's like, you know what you're doing is creating something, and sometimes you can get hung up on the technicalities of that instead of letting whatever you're making just create itself. And what I mean by that is, like, sometimes I'll listen to a song and I'll be like, I want to make a song like this, and then I just get hung up on that song specifically and not what I might be feeling at the moment or what I want to make at the moment, because you never quite know until you actually start recording or writing it down. So I think it's just getting outside of your own head is a struggle, but then, you know, just timing and stuff like that, learning different instruments, you know, but that's all just part of like the fun of why I love doing it. So no complaints here. Have you ever considered doing a song featuring another artist who plays the same genre? How do you keep uploading music so fast? Are you a fast writer? Do you have any personal method? Love your music. Thank you very much. First question, I've considered that a lot. I think the biggest thing I'd like is a female vocalist that kind of has like one of those whispery voices, the very soft ones, because I think those with like harmonies and like backing up the lead vocal or having like a complete verse of their own, I'd just love to write for that, and I'd love just to hear, like, I think that would sound great. Just because there's a one King Cruel song off of the Ooze, it's like the third or fourth song, he has like a female vocalist, but they pitch her vocals up or down, I forget, but has this very soft effect, and I really like that. Anyone that plays like a trumpet, that would be dope, or like a stand-up bass, that'd be sick. The fast thing, I've actually noticed that comment a few times, like, how do you make music this fast or keep uploading it? Like I said, I really just love the process of making music, so, you know, sometimes I skip the mixing stage a bit because I just want to get to another song. So that's probably the biggest reason, is I really love doing it. And for better or worse, you just get a lot of music because I don't spend a lot of time on one song. It's always, oh, I learned this while making this song, now I want to try implementing that on the next song, like production wise, or, you know, whatever. So yeah, it's just about like progression, I guess. Like, you could technically not say that they're songs, you could just say they're like demos that I'm posting. But I also just love making albums, album art. Oh, so this is 4 questions. Did your musical style just immediately feel natural to you, or did you tinker with many styles and eventually make your own? If so, how long did it take? Like I said, I just went through a lot of phases, but I think I was always searching and also recognizing my own. It's something, it's like I said, when you just record it, then you become aware of what's going on. And I just started to learn there were certain things that I did or that sounded like me as I kept making music. So I just tried to follow that. What would I call my musical style? I don't know. Someone asked me this and I was trying to think, like, if it was like indie rock. Like, I guess indie rock's probably the indie pop, or so. That's probably like the term that sums it up the most. But, you know, I do a lot of instrumentals that have like Eastern and African influences, and you know, I've done some jazz. I wouldn't say it's all jazz, a lot of it's garbage. Yeah, I have no clue. I'd just call it, in whatever musical direction your music goes, what do you think will stay consistent in all the music you made or will make? Yeah, I mean, I want the personality of me, my lyrics, my progression to stay consistent, but other than that, like, that's one of the fun things about this, is just seeing where it goes. So I just want it to keep getting cleaner, better, yeah, just all that. Well, thank you. If you asked a question, thank you very much. It means a lot, and yeah, I had a fun time answering them. I hope this gives you kind of a better idea of who's making the music, who's behind it all, and who animates for Sisyphus 55. Yeah, so hope to do more videos like this. I hope the lighting and the audio is alright, and yeah, I hope it wasn't too boring.